Today, we mark the memorial of the grandparents of the Lord, Saint Joachim and Saint Anne, the parents of Mary, the Mother of God. Although there was not much information that apostolic tradition had on them, but as we saw Mary, as we saw how Mary turned out to be as a truly devoted and dedicated woman and as a committed servant of God, her parents must have prepared and guided her well. Saint Joachim and Saint Anne were remembered as loving parents who loved their daughter Mary and who taught her well in obeying God and in the ways of the world. They were Mary's role models in life, and they should be ours too. Now, in our times, however, the task of modern parents seems far more complex, more difficult than at the time of Joachim and Anne. So many hostile forces and pressures are set up against the relationship of parents and children, against the relationship of against the family, and the generation gap has become so wide that at times we wonder if there can still be any meaningful dialogue between parents and children. Dahil sa dami ng mga distractions, sa dami na nagiging balakid upang magkaroon ng harmonious, ng isang makabuluhang pag-uusap o dialogue ng mga magulang sa kanilang mga anak. Now, however, it might help us, parents, to reflect on how we felt towards our own parents. Such a reflection might encourage us, might encourage the parents amid the difficulties we might be going through, or the parents might be going through presently. As young children, we had for our parents a mixture of adoration, fear, and awe. They were our gods when we were still small. Then, with the onset of adolescence, we discovered that our gods had feet of clay, na sila'y mga tao din, na sila'y vulnerable din. And we became critical of their faults and weaknesses. And in order to assert our budding adulthood, we felt the need to oppose them, to contradict them at every turn. Then, when we became fully adult and parents ourselves, we rediscovered them, our parents, as friends and allies. Antagonism was replaced by affection. And finally, as we grow older and remember our old or dead parents, we measure better. No? We measure better the extraordinary debt we owe them in terms of inherited values and principles, sound habits, and virtues. Shining examples of goodness and psychological balance and religious outlook in life. And so, When we think of everything we have received from our parents, anong nangingibabaw ngayon? The overriding feeling we have is no doubt gratitude. Gratitude. Yes, whatever faults our parents had, we still feel like thanking them forever and ever because of what they have been for us. Now, for us, for the struggling parents or elders or guardians, your children might not yet have reached this last stage. Maring hindi pa nila naabot itong last stage of gratitude. But give them time. Eventually, they will just. Eventually, they will. No? Just as you yourselves evolve, just as we ourselves evolve from adoration to opposition to friendship to gratitude. And so, if you are tempted to think that your task as parents, as guardians, is just too much for you, look at Saints Joachim and Anne. Pray for their help. Ask God to guide you, both as a couple and as parents. Remember, forming a human person is the greatest and noblest task on earth. Why? Because a person lasts forever, because a person is in the image and likeness of God.